do you want to climb a 6,000, but do you don't have people to go to the mountains with? Or, you don't have the experience to select which peaks to go, how to train for that, what is the technical material that you need for it? So if that's the case, follow on this video. Why am I telling you this? This week we started, with a client who reached out to us because, he was dreaming with climbing a 6,000 meter peak, but in the area where he was, I mean, he didn't have people to go to the mountains with. And of course, this is pretty hard, right? Because, you dream with climbing a 6,000 one day. This client, didn't go yet up to 3,000. So he knew that there are many steps in between, but he didn't know how to get there. And many times, you are alone because in your area there are no people who go to the mountains. But also often, you go with people to the mountain, they might know a lot about how to do in your local mountains, but getting to a 6,000 is a completely different game. And yeah, he reached out because he wanted some help. He wanted a second opinion about how to do things, about how to train to get there. And yeah, this is what we kick off this week. So on Friday we had a very good call where we typically do is we start with an assessment. And this assessment typically consists of two parts. So the first part is to figure out, what you want, right? Do you want to climb a 6,000, a 7,000, 8,000? And when do you want to climb? Which mountain? What is this mountain that you have been always dreaming of? And this is very important because, you need a lighthouse. You need to have a long-term goal that might not happen next year. It will not happen in 2 years. It might happen in 5 years. But it's really important to have that in mind. And this is how we typically start, kind of dreaming very, very long term. If, independently of how hard that mountain is, how long it will take you to get there, how much money it costs, what is that dream mountain that you would like to climb? And starting from there, then we go, okay, let's see now what will be other mountains in, let's say, in Europe, for example, or in your local area that you would like to climb. And then we get to the point of, well, what should we do this year, right? What kind of mountain you will be dreaming of? And in this case, it was Mount Tokal in Morocco because it could be his first 4,000. And this is a very big milestone for him because he hasn't done a 3,000 yet. This year, we are going to plan a 4,000. And from there, we are kind of thinking of Mont Blanc next, and then maybe the year after, doing a 6,000 in Nepal. And yeah, this is about dreaming what you want to do because this is extremely important. If you don't have a clear goal to get started with, yeah, it's very hard to keep up. So this is the first thing how we started, kind of dreaming. And then the second phase is in this kind of assessment is to understand, where you stand. And where you stand means how fit are you? How much time do you have to train? Do you have any injuries? How many vacation days do you have to go to the mountains? Is going to your mountains your kind of only hobby and you have the weekends to do that, or you also have other things in your life? And this is extremely important because, if you are, it doesn't make any sense to kind of do an assessment. Then I understand, okay, he wants to climb a 4,000 this year. And then I put a training plan that he will not follow because, of course, life is life and there are many constraints about it. So it doesn't make any sense to kind of put a plan that you will not follow because these kind of plans, never work in the end. So this is what we do in this second phase. So understand, what are the life constraints that he has? For example, in this case, it was mainly about having a very rigid plan doesn't work for him because of work. Sometimes he has to work 5 days per week, another weeks is 3 times per week. So what he needs is mainly some tips about, yeah, how to train, how to, yeah, what are kind of these key milestones that will help him grow. And based on that, then he can organize his time. And this is the first assessment and what we do. So understanding, okay, what is your dream? What would you like to go? And then, what are your constraints? To get there. Not only your constraints, but also your preferences. If, for example, you don't like, I don't know, road running, then we'll try to do something else so that you can still train, but you do something that you enjoy. And with all that information, we take a few days and we come up with a first plan draft. So meaning of, putting together a long-term roadmap with, okay, what kind of mountains or kind of milestones, are good for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years till you get to that dream mountain that you would like to do. And then we come closer and we break it down and put a plan for this year. And this plan is typically, quite simple. We put a few milestones, we put a few suggestions of how you should train, and then we do a continuous assessment, meaning that first, we put this plan, we send it to our client. Then after a few days, we have another call typically where we go through all the questions, also to his feedback. If, for example, we put something that, it will not work for him, then yeah, no problem. That's absolutely fine. Then we iterate over that, we improve it, because the kind of end goal is to have a plan that works for a client. If it doesn't work for him, then it makes no sense, to continue working with us. And then after that, once this is already set, then we start with a continuous assessment, which means that we have permanent contact via WhatsApp, we have weekly check-ins, and the goal here is, to be uh, his climbing partner, mountaineering partner, a second opinion to help him with whatever he needs. Either it could be the training, it could be which peak to go to. If he's planning to go to mountains, so giving my opinion or our opinion from the team of, well, what you should do next. Is it too hard for you? Is it not that hard? Maybe you could push yourself a little bit more. Or yeah, these kind of questions that are typically, I mean, not that easy to answer. Of course, it's very hard when you don't have the experience and you are alone. But it's also often very hard when you are with a group of people as well, because very often, yeah, people go to the mountains but don't have the knowledge about what it takes. To do some of these kind of big mountains that, for example, this client was dreaming of. And yeah, this is how it works. It's a very simple concept, and the best thing for it is that it's for free. You might not have thought about that, but it's very simple the way we set up this program. And how it works is as follows. So you pay 30 euros per month to get access to the assessment, to a continuous support. And you are thinking, okay, you told me it's free, but now you are telling me that it's 30 euros per month. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Those 30 euros that you pay go to a bag, let's say, that you can use that money whenever you want to do an expedition with us. So imagine that you get your continuous support during all this time. After 4 months or after 1 year, you're going to go to Topkal or you want to climb a 6,000. Then pretty simple. We take that money that you have paid so far and we discount it from the expedition price, meaning that you get to the mountain and you pay less because you have paid it before, of course. But in exchange, instead of only getting to the mountain, then you have received continuous support for you to get there. What it means that is for free, right? You wanted to go to the mountains, you get there for the same price, but at the same time, you have the continuous support, for free. And even better than that is that, you can cancel anytime. Whenever you want to cancel, you tell us, and then we cancel the subscription. And why we do that so easily? Because first, because we really trust our process. And second, because we want that if you are with us, it's because we are providing value. We are providing a lot of value. And if it's not the case, it's better than you leave, because there is first, it might not be the good fit for you. So fine, perfectly fine. You just leave. That's it. But what we want here is first, I mean, to kind of give the opportunity for people to go to the high peaks. I mean, very often it's kind of, it seems like a very big milestone for many people. And it is a very big milestone. But I mean, big milestones can be broken in way smaller milestones. And this is what we are doing with, for example, this training program. So we break down a very big mountain in steps that you can take this month, this year, in the next years, so that you get there. And not only that, also you also can break this money, right? Because typically going to a 6,000, I mean, it's not cheap, right? I mean, you need to spend 3 to 4,000 euros to get there. But if you do it like this, you pay 30 euros per month slowly, and then it's way easier, right? Because when the time comes to go to the expedition, you have already paid a lot of money, which also very helpful, right? And you did not just pay this money and put it aside. You put this money aside, which is what you will typically do, but in exchange, you've got a person, a second opinion, who is helping you along the whole way. So this is a very beautiful concept that is working very, very well for us. If you want to learn more, if you want to join us in this program, just reach out. Let's have a chat, because I'm sure that you will enjoy it a lot. You will get to your first 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, even 8,000 meter peak with us. Have a great day. Bye bye.